as the dry out and cleanup from this storm are just starting in Texas. The dangers from the storm and the resulting flooding still very real. 2 volunteer workers lost their lives helping others, and now the death toll is at least 38 tonight. Authorities expect that, unfortunately, to rise. Fires and 2 explosions rocked a Houston area chemical plant today. Meanwhile, Harvey is dumping its seemingly endless supply of rain farther east. Let's begin tonight in the flood zone with correspondent Steve Harrigan. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, Brett. Here east of Houston, what we're seeing are continuing rising of the floodwaters. That means for some people who thought they made it through the storm, well, they are still on the run. Rescue after rescue continues in Texas, even as Harvey has now downgraded to a tropical depression.
Cold? You all right?
Rising waters still nearly impossible to escape.
You okay?
Agencies throughout local, state, and federal government are on hand to help. An agent with the U.S. Border Patrol wearing a body cam captured this rescue from Houston.
We didn't really have much flooding until just this morning. It started coming past the fence line and started rushing to our yard.
Others who are just beginning to face the brunt of the aftermath, relying on volunteers with boats from out of state.
We help them in a time of need.
And soon more help will arrive. Today, 2 Navy ships are steaming on their way to the Gulf Coast with around 700 Marines aboard. While on the ground, door-to-door searches begin in Houston.
We're finding out just see if how much damage there is, if there's any civilians that have been left behind.
And the latest numbers look grim. The death toll has risen to more than 30, while over 37,000 people have heavily damaged homes, according to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Those figures bringing promises from the Vice President's trip to Rockport, the coastal area near where Harvey first came ashore.
To ensure that the full resources of the national government are being brought to bear in a consistent way.
In the midst of more unexpected damage,
right now Beaumont's basically on an island.
A city of over 100,000, about 100 miles east of Houston, Beaumont is facing a crisis of both too much and too little water.
We got a call about 1 a.m. this morning from the city telling us that they had lost the city waters.
An indefinite problem, forcing Baptist Beaumont Hospital to airlift nearly 200 patients out. But other communities also got calls in the middle of the night. Some residents of Crosby, Texas, 30 miles northeast of Houston, were forced to evacuate after explosions at a nearby chemical plant. With more explosions expected to come after refrigerators storing chemicals lost power. The Environmental Protection Agency said that there are no toxins being released, backing up an official from the plant.
What we have going on, it's not a chemical release that's happening, and I want to be clear about that.
For residents, the toxins right now, the least of their worries.
Okay, and now I keep trying to call them, but I can't reach them.
8 oil refineries have been shut down. A major pipeline has been shut at least until Sunday. These moves already affecting gasoline prices. Brett?
Steve Harrigan live in the flood zone. Steve, thank you.